Hi everybody, just going to share my screen and just pick the right screen. There we are. What's on that one? You should be seeing my screen coming up now anytime soon. Just checking with Anna. We're on NinjaTrader. We will be doing this. As Anna said, this is really the first. It's a test, if you like, a bit of a dry run to get us used to technology. We've never done live stream on Facebook before. Done a lot on YouTube, but not on Facebook. It's a different procedure. You have to use stream keys and all sorts of things. But I have to say, it's relatively straightforward once it's all set up. So, as I say, we will be doing a lot more of these and on various platforms. I'm on NinjaTrader here, but we'll also be doing it on TradingView and MT45 and so on and so forth. So, pretty much focused on Forex. What you're looking at here is what I call a manual matrix, which is in essence the dollar across the primary currency pairs, not all of them. I haven't got the dollar yen on here, but you've got pound dollar, Aussie dollar, euro dollar on the top line, New Zealand dollar, dollar CAD, and dollar Swiss on the bottom line. Just going to move that chat box out of the way, put it over there. And the reason that I like to have this workspace is because it's a very, very simple way. If you've never used it in this way, it's a very simple way of seeing what is going on in terms of dollar buying or dollar selling across both the pairs where the dollar is the counter currency and also where the dollar is the primary currency. So you get an inverse view, you get an upside down view, if you like, a mirror image view of what is going on to the upside. If we've got, for example, on the top line, all these currency pairs should be going up. Whereas on the bottom line, certainly as far as the dollar CAD and dollar Swiss is concerned, they should be going down because the dollar is the primary currency as opposed to counter currency. So you get a very nice inverted view of volume price analysis in action. And it just helps to confirm also that what you're seeing in terms of any currency pair that you are trading, if you're trading any of these, is that strength or weakness across the currency? In other words, the dollar, is that reflected universally across all the pairs? Because often it is not. But essentially, what you want to see is pretty much what you're seeing here now, which is dollar selling across the first four. In other words, this, and this. And you've got dollar selling, which is confirmed in your dollar CAD, and you've got selling, which is confirmed in your dollar Swiss. These are all set up to the same time frame, so it's very, very easy to set up. You can do it on any currency pair you care to choose. I've just done it on the dollar here, but you can obviously set this up for any currency pair. So if we pop open, let's just have a look at cable, which Anna mentioned. We've been obviously there's a lot going on in the UK, and what's interesting what's interesting at the moment is that it's something you need to be aware of in terms of what I would refer to as local events, which may well drive the pound in a different direction against the dollar. Not at the moment, but this is what can occur from time to time, where a local event, something which is local to that country, will impact that currency and it will then trade in its own environment for whatever reason, driven by a local factor, as opposed to being driven by sentiment across the globe. And classic example in the last 10 years, obviously Brexit, huge impact on the pound and how it behaved against the dollar and other currencies. So it's another reason why it's important to have a matrix like this set up so that you can actually see how and we have the indicators, which I'll show you in a moment, but it shows you visually what is going on in terms of that pair that you are trading, what is happening to the dollar. You could have a euro workspace set up where you're just tracking the euro. Is the euro behaving as it should do against all the other currencies? Because essentially what you want to be doing as a currency trader, as a Forex trader, is you want to be trading with the universal flow. So if everybody is selling the dollar, great, you're selling the dollar. If everyone's buying the dollar, great, you're buying the dollar. You're trading with the universal flow. You are not trading in isolation. You're not paddling the canoe in the opposite direction. If you imagine currency flows as a river, you want to be trading with the flow that everyone else is trading. Now, on occasion, and this is the point I wanted to make here, particularly with what's going on in the UK in terms of politics, that may well influence the pound to behave in a way which does not align it with what you would expect against all the other currencies in that matrix. So just be aware whenever there is a local event, a local piece of news, or something impacting that currency, it may well move that particular currency out of alignment with all the others. And that's what you see when you witness it on a currency matrix, simple currency matrix like that. This is really from, I've just collapse this down a bit. This is from, where are we? 8 o'clock. Let's go back. 8 o'clock is when UK gets underway over here. UK markets open. And all these sessions that we run, clearly, if you're familiar with us, you'll be well aware of volume price analysis. It's our underlying methodology. We apply it to all markets, including Forex, even though there is no central exchange. We use tick activity as a proxy for volume. It's absolutely perfect. It works in exactly the same way because at the end of the day, tick activity means activity. It means something happening. It means there's going to be volume in the market. You can see when you look at any chart with volume on it, what you're looking at, you look at the very large volume bars, you look at the very small volume bars, you look at ones like this where we had weakness coming in. It didn't react immediately. It's something you often see in VPA. Got up to this level here, by the way. The only indicator I've got on here at the moment is the accumulation distribution indicator, which prints these levels for you in terms of their strength. You may not be able to see it here, but this is a little 9, number 9. In other words, this level has been tested 9 times in the past and is therefore a pretty strong level. And that's reflected not only in the numerical value, which has now increased to 10, but also in the width of the line. So you don't really need the numerical values. It just gives you a benchmark, if you like, and it tells you how strong that level is. So the thicker the line, the stronger the level. It's a very strong level at just at this region here where we're testing at the moment. And we've got some equally strong or relatively strong support below. This is a level that has a numerical value of 7, so it's been tested several times in the past, so it's acting as support. It's being tested here as well, so we're channeling at the moment. Now, a break above here will revert this to support. A break below here will revert it to resistance. And you can see how this changes the whole time because these are based on the live price action. And therefore, it's a dynamic indicator like all our indicators are. They will react according to what is going on at the live edge, not what happened a year ago or a week ago, whatever. It's what's going on at the live edge of the market. We had a really nice, this is an example, a very nice example with a huge amount of volume coming in of a 2-bar reversal. We're on a 2-minute chart. If you put this on a 4-minute chart, what would that actually look like? Well, it would be a very narrow body and a very big wick. In other words, it's a big hammer candle. And given the amount of volume that came in here, clearly there is going to be something happening. This short-term bearish move has come to an end. You can see the buying's come in there. It's come to an end at this point. We've got a lovely 2-bar reversal, overlay one on the other. It's a 2-bar change. And we will therefore like to see one of two things happen, either a move to the side, or in other words, congestion, or a reversal to the upside. So that's where we are on cable. The others are very similar at the moment. You can see, and this is what I meant about seeing things across a multiple array, because if you see that 2-bar reversal coming in on cable, you see it here on the Aussie dollar, you see it here on euro dollar, and you see it here on New Zealand dollar, associated with high volume. That gives you the confidence to say, well, what I'm seeing on my cable chart, which is the one I'm going to trade, I'm also seeing across the other time frames, the other currency pairs, by the way, and the same time frames. So it just gives you the confidence to say, okay, fine, I'm going to take this trade. It looks like what's happening is universal. This looks like strong buying coming in, and therefore it's what you're trying to do is judge a risk on the trade all the time. And in using the array in this way, in a very, very simple way like this, you are reducing that risk because you are looking at things through a different prism. You're looking at different currency pairs in the same time frame, and judging from that if what you're seeing on the chart you're trading is also reflected in the other currency pairs, then it has to reduce the risk because you're seeing it. It's giving you further confirmation that what you're seeing on your primary chart is also reflected in the others. So that's a very simple matrix. We use that a lot. And really just to very quickly run you through some of the primary indicators that you're probably familiar with. I'm sure some of you have seen these before. The currency strength indicator is essentially that is what it is. It is a currency strength indicator which gives you this wonderful visual array. And if you like, it's your radar on the market. It gives you an instant perspective. I've got this set up on 1 minute, 2 minute, and 3 minute. And what it gives you is a very quick visual perspective on so many different things. First of all, we take the one in the middle. This is 2 minute. What is it telling us about potentially currencies which are overbought or oversold? Well, it's telling us quite clearly that the New Zealand dollar, this grey line, is very much overbought and therefore potentially moving to an oversold situation. In other words, trending lower. Equally at the bottom, we've got the yen, we've got the dollar here, and you can see how these currencies react. This is cable, this is pound. This is what we were seeing on that trend there. It's trending up, didn't quite get to the top there. And at the bottom here, we've got these oversold currencies potentially of yen and dollar. Same here, yen and dollar, and the same over here on our slightly slower time frame at 3 minutes. Now, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, what are my opportunities as a scalping trader? What am I looking for? Am I looking to get in early? In other words, am I looking for potentially oversold and overbought situations where the New Zealand dollar, for example, was overbought, now potentially coming lower? What would I match it up again from the other end? In other words, the oversold end. Am I going to match it against the yen potentially, against the dollar, possibly against the CAD? The CAD has started to rise quite strongly. You can see it rising strongly here. New Zealand dollar is falling over here. So I don't need to look at a chart to know that there will be a mini trend developing in New Zealand CAD because I've got New Zealand falling strongly and I've got the CAD rising strongly. So there would be a decent trend from a scalping perspective, which is taking shape because the inclination of that line will tell me the strength. If it's falling heavily like this and it's steeply inclined, and equally the currency that's coming up from oversold is rising as strongly, that is going to generate a strong trend because you've got strength in the trend to the downside and you've got strength in the trend to the upside. So it's a very, very simple way. It's a very powerful indicator which gives you visuals on potential opportunities. And the first thing you do is go and look at the chart. So you're using this as a radar. You're saying, okay, what am I going to look at? What am I not going to look at? Equally important. Because if I've got currencies which are moving together, as here, dollar, yen, and euro, there's not going to be much going on in terms of those currency pairs. The same here. And the same, for example, with Aussie, New Zealand. You wouldn't necessarily look at Aussie, New Zealand because they've gone up together and now they're coming down together, which is often the case with the commodity currencies. So you wouldn't look at Aussie, New Zealand because there's nothing to trade. It'll be in congestion because there's no divergence between one rising strongly and one falling strongly. They are traveling together. So it gives you a lot of information, this indicator. It's very simple. It works in all time frames. It works at the live edge. You've seen it working here. It's a very, very, it's the starting point. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today, we just wanted to get this up and running, see how it works, get used to the technology, and just let you know that we will be doing a lot more of these over the coming weeks because Facebook is just a great platform and Anna will be doing more posts on here as well. So just wanted to get a live stream up and running.